My dear friends, it was my long-standing goal to talk, or basically to share my thoughts about probiotics. And I may be right, I may be wrong, but this is just my perspective. And let's start with something, in a sense. What is the essence to our health? And I think that the minus mitochondria is my ever go and always go, but minus mitochondria. What is the essence of our health? And I honestly believe that the essence to our health resides in our gut. And most particularly, it resides with our microgut. Our microgut is almost 90% of our whole existence. I'm not talking about microgut. I'm talking about microbiota. Sorry. Microbiota is about 90% to 10% of all the cells of us. So we are a lot of bugs. So now let's concentrate on microgut. And let's talk about probiotics. So, are probiotics good or are probiotics bad? What kind of probiotics are good and what kind of probiotics are bad? So, here's the battery of a whole bunch of probiotics that I, sort of swing between. And I'm not biased, only one of them represents my company, but I just get something that I think is good for my gut. And then I research it, I study it, and that's how I basically go with I buy it from the company that I think carries very good probiotics. However, here's the deal. Are there any good probiotics or are there any bad probiotics? I'm actually starting to believe that all the probiotics that are on the market are good probiotics. There are alive probiotics, and people say, oh, you need to take live culture stuff. There are live probiotics and there are dead probiotics. And trust me, there is a need for live probiotics and there is a need for dead probiotics. Now, are the probiotics good? Well, it depends. It doesn't matter what kind of probiotic you're going to take. And the probiotics range from, let's say, 2 species or 1 species to 100 species, maybe to 50 to maybe you can find a probiotic that has 100 species. But it will never, ever, ever substitute the diversity of your microgut. And to me, in a sense, that's what I'm learning. It's the problem with the probiotics. It doesn't matter how good the probiotic is. Let's say it's an awesome probiotic that contains 10 strains, 5 strains, 20 strains. And some say that our microgut contains between 500 to 750 to some say 1,000 species. You will never substitute or supplement or find the probiotic that will provide all that diversity. And the health of our health resides, as I previously said, on microgut, and that resides on the diversity of our microgut. The more diverse our microflora is, the healthier we are. So taking some or one kind of probiotics for a very long time may not be beneficial because you're pushing very few species. There may be right species, there may be very good species, but this is unidirectional. And in this case, you need to go multidirectional. So what does that mean? Of course, take probiotics. That's why I have so many. That's why I have batteries, because I bounce, I jump. I take one for 2 weeks, one kind, then I give it a break for a month, then I take another one for 2, 3 weeks, whatever I feel like it. The only per se probiotics that I think I was taught you can take all the time. It's not even a probiotic, it's a spore biotic, but let's leave it at that. So not a probiotic, but a spore biotic, because those spore biotics, they actually kick your own microgut in their little butts and stimulates that microdiversity or multidiversity. So now, then you will ask me a question. So if you cannot find that probiotic or something, how are you going to replenish? How are you going to rebuild that diversity of a microgut? And the diversity, especially with the older we get, is so critically important. So maybe the next talk or the next get together, we're going to be talking about prebiotics, something that is going to feed, nourish, support probiotics or support our microgut, not the probiotics. Now, another notion before I finish is in order for us to have a very healthy microgut, we need to have a healthy gut. Where does microgut live? It lives in our colon. So that gut, that colon, whether it's a small bowel or a large bowel, or I'm even mistaken saying it's a colon, actually, our stomach contains microflora. Everything contains microflora from the mouth to the anus. So that has to be healthy. So our GI tract, our GI tube has to be healthy. The house has to be clean, and the house has to be healthy for that microgut to flourish, for that microbiota to flourish. And let's stop it here. Thank you guys for health, to love, to peace. And one more time, hopefully it works. Yes, it does.